The Australian government and its partner organisations are sitting on hundreds of services, payments, concessions and resources that are completely free. Free legal help, free financial advice, free health checks, free money sitting in unclaimed accounts waiting to be collected, free support that most Australians will never touch because nobody told them it existed. Most Australians use maybe 2 or 3 of them. This is 101 of them. And by the end of this video, you are going to be genuinely angry that nobody told you sooner. 1. Every year, Australians pay accountants and tax agents hundreds of dollars to prepare and lodge their tax returns. Meanwhile, the ATO runs a program called Tax Help, where trained volunteers prepare and lodge your return for free. If you earn around $60,000 or less and have simple tax affairs, you qualify. That is millions of Australians paying for something the government already offers at no charge. 2. Right now, state and territory governments across Australia are holding over $1 billion in unclaimed money. Old bank accounts, forgotten share dividends, uncollected insurance payouts, security deposits nobody collected. ASIC runs a free search tool at moneysmart.gov.au where you type your name and search every state at once. It takes 30 seconds. Go check right now. Seriously, pause this video and go check. 3. If you are on a low income and cannot afford a lawyer, legal aid commissions in every state and territory provide free legal representation and advice. Family law, criminal matters, tenancy disputes, domestic violence, debt problems. Most Australians who need legal help either go without it or pay for it when a free service was available the whole time. 4. The National Debt Helpline is a free telephone service staffed by professional financial counselors, not salespeople, not debt consolidation brokers, actual qualified counselors whose only job is to help you manage debt. The number is 1-800-777-283. It is free. It is confidential, and the people on the other end work for you, not for a financial institution. 5. Medicare covers a mental health treatment plan that gives you up to 10 individual sessions with a psychologist or other mental health professional at a significantly reduced cost, and in many cases at no cost at all if the provider bulk bills. Your GP refers you. You pay nothing or very little, and yet millions of Australians who need mental health support either go without it or pay full private rates because they did not know the Medicare plan existed. 6. Services Australia runs a free financial information service. Real staff, real appointments. They will sit down with you and explain how superannuation works, how the pension means test works, how to understand Centrelink payments, and how your assets affect your entitlements. It is not financial advice in the licensed sense, but it is genuinely useful information delivered by trained staff at no cost. Book an appointment at servicesaustralia.gov.au. 7. Your Medicare card gives you access to an annual health assessment if you are 45 to 49 years old and at risk of developing a chronic condition. It is a comprehensive check with your GP. Bulk billed, no cost. It identifies risks before they become problems. Most Australians in that age bracket have never had one because their doctor did not mention it and nobody else told them. 8. The Commonwealth Seniors Health Card gives older Australians who are not on the age pension but have reached age pension age cheaper prescription medicines under the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, bulk billing incentives, and other concessions. In 2026, the income threshold is $150,000 for singles and $240,000 for couples. Hundreds of thousands of Australians who qualify have never applied. 9. If you are a small business owner, the ATO offers free tax clinics at locations across the country run by university students under professional supervision. They help with BAS statements, income tax returns, and general tax questions. Free, in person. Available in most states. The same service that a bookkeeper charges by the hour. 10. ASIC's MoneySmart website is entirely free and contains calculators, guides, and tools covering superannuation, mortgages, budgeting, investing, insurance, and retirement planning. It is built and maintained by the Australian government. It does not sell you anything. It does not harvest your data for advertising. You already paid for it with your taxes, and most Australians have never visited it once. 11. The Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, safety net, means that once you or your family reaches a certain spending threshold on PBS medicines in a calendar year, your further prescriptions are either free or heavily discounted for the rest of that year. Keep your PBS receipts. Register your family on the same safety net record. Most Australians who qualify for the safety net threshold have no idea they have crossed it. 12. The Australian government offers a First Home Super Saver scheme that allows first home buyers to save money for a deposit inside their superannuation fund where it is taxed at only 15% instead of their marginal tax rate. Contributions of up to $50,000 can be withdrawn for a first home deposit. Hundreds of thousands of eligible Australians are saving for a deposit in a bank account and paying their full marginal tax rate on the interest when the FHSSS would have been more efficient the whole time. 13. Fair Work Australia provides a free small business helpline for employers with fewer than 15 employees. Employment law questions, unfair dismissal concerns, award interpretation, enterprise agreement queries. Free. Staffed by trained advisors. Small business owners are paying lawyers for advice that Fair Work would have given them for nothing. 14. The Energy Bill Relief Fund provides direct rebates to eligible Australian households and small businesses to reduce electricity bills. Eligibility varies by state, but in most states, households receiving certain Centrelink payments qualify automatically. Check your electricity bill. If you are eligible and the rebate has not been applied, contact your state government energy department. Money you are owed that your energy retailer has no obligation to remind you about. 15. If you are experiencing financial hardship, every major Australian energy and water retailer is required by law to offer you a hardship program. Payment plans, pause disconnection, reduced bills, bill smoothing. These programs exist by regulatory requirement. The retailers do not advertise them aggressively. You have to ask. Call your energy or water provider and use the word hardship. The program activates. 16. The Australian Red Cross provides free emergency relief assistance to people in financial crisis. Food vouchers, household essentials. Transport costs, crisis accommodation referrals. No means test in the traditional sense. You call, you explain your situation, and they help. Most Australians in genuine crisis either do not know this exists or assume it is only for people in disaster zones. It is for anyone in genuine need. 17. The Salvation Army provides free financial counseling, emergency food relief, and utility bill assistance through its Medicare program. Qualified financial counselors. No cost, no religious obligation. Just practical help from people whose entire job is to stabilize someone in financial difficulty. Over 1,000 locations across Australia, almost universally underutilized by the people who need it most. 18. If you are a veteran or current serving member of the Australian Defence Force, the Department of Veterans Affairs provides free mental health support through Open Arms. Counseling. Group programs. Crisis support, available to veterans, current serving members, and their immediate family members. No referral required, no cost. And yet the vast majority of veterans who need mental health support either go without or pay privately because they did not know Open Arms existed. 19. The ATO has an unclaimed superannuation search function on MyGov. Australians collectively have billions of dollars sitting in lost and unclaimed superannuation accounts. You log into your MyGov account, navigate to the ATO, and search for lost super linked to your tax file number. It takes 5 minutes. There are Australians with tens of thousands of dollars in accounts they forgot about from jobs they held 20 years ago. Go check. 20. The Community Services Card and related state concession cards give eligible low-income Australians discounts on council rates, water bills, electricity, public transport, vehicle registration, and numerous other costs. Eligibility varies by state, but is typically linked to holding a Centrelink payment. Thousands of dollars in annual savings available to people who qualified years ago and never applied for the card. 21. The Royal Flying Doctor Service provides free primary health care, including telehealth consultations to people in remote and regional Australia. No cost. No travel required. A doctor by phone or video for people who would otherwise have to drive 4 hours or more to see one. Most people in eligible regional areas do not know this service is available or assume it is only for extreme emergencies. 22. If you are having trouble with a bank, insurer, superannuation fund, or financial advisor, the Australian Financial Complaints Authority provides a free dispute resolution service. You lodge a complaint, AFCA investigates. Financial institutions are legally required to participate and to comply with determinations. AFCA has recovered billions of dollars for Australians who were wrongly treated by financial institutions. The service is free. Using it costs you nothing. 23. The National Relay Service provides free support for Australians who are deaf, hard of hearing, or have a speech impairment to make and receive telephone calls. Video relay, internet relay, SMS relay, available around the clock, funded by the government as a universal service obligation. Millions of Australians who could benefit from this have never been told it exists. 24. Beyond Blue provides free mental health information, counseling, and peer support through its online chat, email, and phone services. Not a crisis line exclusively, an ongoing support resource available at any level of mental health difficulty. Trained counselors, no referral, no cost, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The number is 1302 24636 25. The government's MyGov platform lets you access Centrelink, Medicare, the ATO, My Health Record, and numerous other government services in one place at no cost. But buried inside MyGov are tools most Australians never use. The ATO's pre-filled tax return data, Medicare claims history, immunisation records, and organ donation registration. You have a complete government financial and health dashboard that most Australians use as a login page and nothing else. 26. The Centrelink Rent Assistance Payment provides additional income support to eligible private renters receiving qualifying Centrelink payments. In 2026, the maximum rate for a single person is over $180 per fortnight. Thousands of eligible Australians on Centrelink payments are not receiving rent assistance because they did not know to apply or assumed they did not qualify. If you receive any qualifying Centrelink payment and rent privately, check your entitlement today. 27. The Home Energy Efficiency Program and its state equivalents will send qualified assessors to your home to identify where you are losing energy, provide advice on fixing it, and in many cases supply free draft proofing, shower heads, and LED light globes at no cost to you. State names vary. Victoria's is Homes Victoria, New South Wales has its own version, Queensland has others. The government is literally paying to reduce your energy bills, and most homeowners have never applied. 28. If you have a chronic health condition, your GP can put you on a chronic disease management plan. This entitles you to up to 5 Medicare-subsidized allied health visits per calendar year: physiotherapy, podiatry, psychology, dietetics, and others. The subsidy is not full cost, but it significantly reduces what you pay. Most Australians with chronic conditions who would qualify have never been placed on a CDM plan because their GP assumed they knew about it. 29. The Australian government provides a free aged care assessment through the Aged Care Assessment Team, called ACAT, to determine what level of care a person needs and to approve access to government-funded aged care services. No cost. No obligation to proceed after assessment. Families who bypass the ACAT assessment and arrange care privately often pay significantly more than they would have with government-subsidized options. The assessment is free. The savings can be in the tens of thousands. 30. Every state and territory in Australia has a tenants' advice and advocacy service that provides free advice and representation to renters, lease disputes, bond claims, rental increases, eviction proceedings, repairs that landlords refuse to make, free qualified advice from people whose entire job is to represent renters. Most tenants facing a dispute either go without advice or pay a solicitor when a free service was available the whole time. 31. The Australian Securities and Investments Commission provides a free professional register at moneysmart.gov.au where you can check whether any financial advisor, credit licensee, or financial services company is properly licensed before you engage them. Takes 30 seconds. Scam operations and unlicensed operators are not on the register. If the person you are about to hand money to is not on this register, stop. 32. The government's small business development corporations in each state provide free business advisory services to small and medium enterprises. Business planning, marketing advice, financial management, succession planning, export assistance, free. Qualified advisors, the same advice that business consultants charge hundreds of dollars an hour to provide. Chronically underutilized by the small business owners who need it most. 33. Meals on Wheels Australia delivers affordable and in many cases free meals to elderly Australians, people recovering from illness or injury, and people with disability who cannot easily prepare their own food. The service also provides a regular well-being check for isolated older Australians who might go days without any human contact. For many recipients, it is the only face they see some days. Contact your local council or My Aged Care to find your nearest service. 34. The NDIS provides funding for support coordination, therapeutic supports, assistive technology, home modifications, and numerous other services for Australians with permanent and significant disability. But a significant proportion of NDIS participants are not fully utilizing their plans, leaving funded support unused because they did not know what they were entitled to or how to access it. An NDIS support coordinator can help you understand and use your full plan entitlement. In many cases, the coordination support itself is funded by the plan. 35. The government's Transition to Work program provides free employment services to young Australians aged 15 to 24 who are looking for work or considering further education. Intensive support, resume help, job search assistance, interview preparation, skills development, free. Available nationally. Most young Australians who qualify are on a standard job active stream and have never been assessed for the more intensive Transition to Work support. 36. Medicare provides free or heavily subsidized child dental services through the Child Dental Benefits Schedule. Children aged 2 to 17 from families receiving eligible government payments are entitled to up to $1,096 in dental services over a 2-year period. Basic checkups, cleaning, x-rays, fillings, and extractions. Millions of eligible children are not using this entitlement because their parents did not know it existed or assumed private dental was their only option. 37. The Centrelink carer payment provides income support to people who provide constant care to someone with a severe disability or medical condition. It is a full income support payment equivalent to the base pension rate. The carer allowance provides an additional payment for people who provide daily care, but not at the constant care level. Both are significantly underutilized because carers often do not self-identify as carers in the formal Centrelink sense and therefore never apply. 38. The Australian Taxation Office's My Deductions tool inside the ATO app allows you to track work-related expenses, car trips, and gifts to charity throughout the year on your phone. It pre-fills your tax return automatically. It is free. It takes 30 seconds per claim to record. The difference between a thorough deductions record and a reconstructed one at tax time is often hundreds of dollars in legitimate additional deductions. Most Australians are still reconstructing their claims from memory. 39. If you run a small business and export goods or services, Austrade provides free export market advice, connections to international buyers, and guidance on trade regulations through its Export Council and Trade Start programs. Businesses that export grow on average faster than those that do not. The advice to get started is free and available in every state. Most small business owners who could export have never contacted Austrade. 40. The low-income tax offset and the low and middle-income tax offset are automatic reductions to the tax you owe based on your income level. They are applied automatically through your tax return. But many Australians, particularly those with multiple part-time jobs or casual income, have been over-withheld throughout the year and are entitled to a refund that represents money they should never have paid in the first place. Filing your tax return is how you collect it. A surprising number of low-income Australians do not file and never collect. We are halfway through. I have saved some of the most valuable ones for the end. The ones that involve the most money and the most people who are missing out. Stay with me. 41. The National Cancer Council provides a free 13 11 20 helpline staffed by oncology-trained nurses and health professionals. Questions about diagnosis, treatment options, managing side effects, accessing support services, financial assistance, and palliative care. Free. Confidential. Available Monday to Friday. Every Australian touched by cancer, patient or family member, deserves to know this number exists. 42. The Australian Bureau of Statistics allows free public access to economic data, population statistics, housing affordability data, employment figures, and regional data going back decades. Investors, business owners, students, and journalists pay for data services that are effectively summarizing what the ABS publishes for free. If you make decisions based on economic data of any kind, the source is free and it is better than the summary. 43. State and territory libraries provide free access to online newspaper archives, academic databases, ebooks, audiobooks, streaming music, and language learning platforms through your library card. Platforms like PressReader, Canopy, and Libby are included at no cost with most Australian library memberships. Australians are paying monthly subscriptions for services their library membership already covers. 44. The Australian government's job seeker registration through Workforce Australia provides free employment services, including resume writing, job search tools, career counselling, skills assessments, and connection to subsidised training. If you are unemployed or underemployed, these services are available at no cost, and in many cases, providers are funded to deliver them intensively. Most job seekers use the system passively when active engagement with a provider can significantly accelerate employment outcomes. 45. Domestic violence support is available free of charge through 1800 Respect, the National Sexual Assault, Family and Domestic Violence Counselling line. Call or text 1800 737 732. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Trained counselors. No judgment. Safe and confidential. Referrals to local support services and emergency accommodation. If you or someone you know is in danger, this number could be the most important one you ever call. 46. The Fair Work Ombudsman provides free advice to both employees and employers on workplace rights, pay entitlements, award conditions, leave entitlements, and workplace disputes. If you think you have been underpaid, if you are unsure about your award, if you have a dispute with your employer or employee, the Fair Work Ombudsman will advise you for free. Australians are collectively owed billions in wage theft that goes unreported because workers assume getting advice would cost them money. 47. The Hearing Services Program provides eligible Australians with subsidised or free hearing assessments and hearing devices. Veterans, pensioners, and certain Centrelink recipients qualify. A hearing aid from a private audiologist can cost between $2,000 and $9,000. Through the Hearing Services Program, the same aid is fully or largely subsidised. Most Australians who qualify are paying privately because they never asked whether a subsidy existed. 48. The Home Builder Program and its state equivalents have provided grants for building, buying, or substantially renovating a home. While the original federal Home Builder grant has closed, state-based first homeowner grants continue to provide between $10,000 and $30,000 to eligible buyers. These grants are not automatic. You have to apply. A significant number of eligible first home buyers either do not know the grant exists or miss the application deadline because nobody told them the window was closing. 49. The Centrelink advance payment allows eligible recipients to access up to $500 of their future Centrelink payment immediately at no cost and with no interest. It is repaid through small automatic reductions to future payments. It is not a loan from a bank. It does not carry interest. It does not affect your credit file. Thousands of Australians on Centrelink payments are taking out payday loans at extreme interest rates when an interest-free advance from Centrelink was available to them. 50. The ATO's payment plan facility allows Australians with a tax debt to pay it off in installments rather than in a single payment. Interest applies, but the rate is significantly lower than a personal loan or credit card. You apply online through MyGov. The ATO approves the vast majority of straightforward applications. Australians are paying credit card interest on tax debts when an ATO payment plan with a lower rate was one online form away. 51. The National Prescribing Service provides free consumer medicine information to Australians with questions about their medications, what the drug does, how to take it correctly, what interactions to watch for, what side effects to expect. Free, online, developed by pharmacists and medical professionals. Australians are either relying on the brief conversation at the pharmacy counter or Googling unreliable information when a free authoritative resource exists. 52. The government's Centrelink phone self-service line allows you to manage many of your Centrelink payments, update details, and get information about your entitlements without waiting on hold. The number is 136240, automated but comprehensive, and it is available 24 hours a day. Most people sit on hold to speak to a staff member for information they could have obtained in 2 minutes through the self-service line. 53. State emergency relief services through organizations including St. Vincent de Paul, Anglicare, and Uniting Care provide free emergency food, clothing, utility bill assistance, and household essential support to Australians in financial crisis. No complex means test. You call or walk in and explain your situation. Most Australians in genuine short-term financial crisis are unaware that immediate non-government support is available in their suburb right now. 54. The Positive Aging Program and similar state-based programs provide free community transport, social connection activities, home support, and referral services to older Australians who are not yet at the level of formal aged care, but who need some assistance to stay independent in their homes. Contact your local council to find out what programs operate in your area. The difference between staying home and entering care early is often access to modest support services that were available for free the whole time. 55. The National Broadband Network has a low-income broadband program through several providers, including the Essential Broadband and similar plans that provide significantly discounted internet access to Centrelink recipients. Reliable internet is not a luxury in 2026. It is how Australians access MyGov, Centrelink, Medicare, health services, employment services, and education. Low-income Australians paying full-price internet plans may have access to a subsidized alternative they were never told about. 56. The ATO's free tax withheld calculator is available on the ATO website and allows both employees and employers to calculate the correct amount of tax to withhold from wages. Thousands of Australians are over-withheld or under-withheld throughout the year, giving the government an interest-free loan or accumulating an unexpected tax debt because neither they nor their employer checked the correct withholding amount at the start of the year. The calculator is free. Using it is a 5-minute exercise that prevents a 12-month problem. 57. Headspace provides free or low-cost mental health support to young Australians aged 12 to 25 through over 160 centres across the country and through an online and phone service. Early support for mental health challenges is significantly more effective than delayed intervention. Most young Australians who need mental health support either go without it or wait months for a private referral, when a Headspace centre may have been available with a much shorter wait time. 58. The Stroke Foundation provides a free stroke line service, staffed by health professionals who answer questions from stroke survivors, their families, and carers about recovery, rehabilitation, secondary prevention, and accessing services. The number is 1-800-787-272. Stroke affects 1 Australian every 19 minutes. The families of stroke survivors are navigating an enormously complex recovery journey, frequently without knowing that free expert guidance is available. 59. If you have received a debt notice from Centrelink that you believe is incorrect, you have the right to request a review at no cost. An authorized review officer within Services Australia will independently assess the decision. If still unsatisfied, you can escalate to the Administrative Appeals Tribunal for a further free review. Billions of dollars in Centrelink debts have been raised incorrectly over the years. Your right to challenge a debt costs nothing to exercise. 60. The Tax Practitioners Board maintains a free public register where you can verify whether your tax agent, BS agent, or tax advisor holds a current license. An unlicensed tax agent cannot legally charge you for preparing your return. If the person doing your tax is not on the TPB register, you may be paying for an illegal service and receiving no consumer protection if something goes wrong. The check takes 30 seconds. 61. The government's Energy Made Easy website provides a free comparison tool for electricity and gas plans in New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, and the ACT. Victorians have the Victorian Energy Compare site. The comparison shows every plan available in your area and calculates your estimated annual cost based on your usage. Australians are collectively paying billions in excess energy costs by staying on default plans when a free comparison tool would show them a better option. 62. The Australian Human Rights Commission provides a free complaint handling service for Australians who have experienced discrimination in employment, education, accommodation, or the provision of goods and services on the basis of age, disability, race, sex, or other protected attributes. Filing a complaint costs nothing. The Commission facilitates conciliation between parties, and many complaints are resolved with financial compensation to the complainant. 63. Community legal centres across Australia provide free legal advice and in some cases free representation in areas including employment law, family law, consumer law, housing law, and social security law. There are over 170 community legal centres nationally. Most Australians who need legal advice either go without it or pay privately without knowing that a free qualified alternative was available in their postcode. 64. The Australian Government's Grant Connect database lists every Commonwealth grant program currently open for applications. Grants for small businesses, community organisations, research institutions, local governments, and individuals in specific circumstances. Tens of millions of dollars in grants go unclaimed every year because eligible recipients did not know the program existed. The database is free, public, and updated constantly. You search it and apply directly. 65. Dementia Australia provides a free national dementia helpline at 1-800-100-500, staffed by dementia advisors and counsellors. Support for people diagnosed with dementia, their families, and carers. Information about available services. Emotional support during an extraordinarily difficult time. Australians navigating a dementia diagnosis in their family are regularly doing so without knowing that free expert guidance is one phone call away. 66. The voluntary tax withholding option allows Centrelink recipients to have tax automatically withheld from their payments so they do not face an unexpected tax bill at the end of the year. It is optional and free to set up through MyGov. Every year, thousands of Centrelink recipients receive a tax bill they cannot pay because their payments pushed them above the tax-free threshold and nobody told them they could elect to have tax withheld throughout the year. 67. WorkSafe authorities in each state and territory provide free confidential reporting lines for unsafe workplaces. You can report a safety concern anonymously. An inspector will investigate. Your employer cannot legally retaliate against you for making a safety report. Australians are working in genuinely dangerous conditions in silence because they do not know that a free, confidential, protected reporting mechanism exists in every state. 68. The government's Money Smart Superannuation Calculator is a free online tool that models your projected superannuation balance at retirement under different contribution, investment, and fee scenarios. It shows you the dollar impact of small changes, increasing contributions by $50 a fortnight, switching to a lower fee fund, choosing a different investment option. Australians are making superannuation decisions worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in retirement outcomes using no modelling at all when a free tool does it in 5 minutes. 69. The Australian Government's Youth Allowance provides income support to young Australians aged 16 to 24 who are studying, doing an Australian apprenticeship, or looking for work. Many eligible young Australians do not apply because they assume their parents' income disqualifies them. They do not realise the independent status assessment may apply to them, or they simply were not told the payment exists. A payment worth over $500 per fortnight, going unclaimed. 70. The Private Health Insurance Ombudsman provides a free complaint and information service for Australians with concerns about their private health insurer. Coverage disputes, claim denials, premium increases, premium refund entitlements. The Ombudsman has the power to investigate and facilitate resolution. Australians are accepting claim denials from private health insurers as final when a free escalation mechanism exists that frequently reverses those decisions. 71. The National Disability Insurance Agency maintains a free planning support service to help NDIS participants prepare for their plan review meetings, understanding what supports to request, documenting functional impact, preparing evidence. Most NDIS participants attend their plan review underprepared and receive a plan that underfunds their actual needs. Free preparation support is available and most participants do not know to ask for it. 72. Medicare provides free or bulk billed antenatal care, including pregnancy checkups, ultrasounds, and specialist referrals for eligible pregnant women. The gap between the Medicare rebate and the private obstetrician fee can be thousands of dollars over a pregnancy. Shared care arrangements between a GP and a public hospital can provide the same quality of antenatal care at zero out-of-pocket cost. Most first-time parents choose private obstetric care without being told that a free alternative of equal clinical quality exists. 73. The ATO publishes free binding private rulings where you can ask the ATO to confirm in writing how the tax law applies to your specific transaction before you complete it. If you then complete the transaction exactly as described, the ATO is bound by its ruling. You cannot be assessed differently later.